Hello and welcome to this penultimate session of Apocalypse Keys Till We Have Faces. We are 5 minutes to midnight at this point. So if you may have noticed the little clock that has been appearing throughout this series and is moving slowly upwards and changing color and changing time. We're now at that next to the end moment. We are playing Till We Have Faces. We did the sort of downtime from the previous mission last time, as well as the setup and entry into our new mission, which is set in England. So we're going to get set into that. We have a returning player, so we're going to get their character on board today as well. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and I am the GM for this. If you're this episode, I hope you've listened to some of the earlier ones. But this is a mystery that is one of the stretch goal mysteries written by Kieron Gilen. So we will get rolling on that. So let's go through with everybody and check in on those start of session and other questions. Lissa, let's start with your start of session moves, and then we'll look at your XP question.
All right. I've got my hands around your heart, and I'm inclined to Egther, if you're okay with it still, especially okay. So Egther will be my heart and share the burden of my power. I hope he'll save me from what the darkness demands, because we're just going to get the hell out of here after this mission. We're just going to go like wherever he needs to go, and I'm going to hang out there and hopefully not become a harbinger. Well, I'll probably become a harbinger anyway. But the next one is scrolling down, Devil's Advocate, which is way the heck down here. I have a special relationship with a mentor, someone ancient and terrifying who wears human skin. We know this is Gazamak in a different identity. They tell me what I need to know as long as I prove I am worth their care and interest. At the start of each session, I can reflect on a moment with my mentor and spend darkness tokens and roll. So considering that I wound up at the end of last session with basically this house exploding inward and these two little girls who are trying to tell me about what they've seen with the Fae, I think that I'm trying to reflect on a moment when my mentor was teaching me how to protect someone using my powers. And I have no darkness tokens, so I'll be rolling flat.
Okay.
And that gets me a 7. So that is 7. It's a miss, isn't it?
It is a miss unless you want to spend a bond.
You know, I've got a bunch of bonds that I don't need. You know, I will go ahead and burn a bond with my true and cosmic form.
Okay.
And so that takes me up to success, correct?
Yeah. And you flash back to the moment when Gazamak was explaining to you how to protect people, why that was important. And you did it successfully. And yet at the same time, you kind of terrified the person that you protected. And Gazamak said, that's okay. It's okay if you scared them. That doesn't matter. All that matters is you protected them.
I feel like that's some ruthless testing. So I will mark an XP. And they taught me about the cruel patterns of the apocalypse, so I can declare an irrevocable truth about the mystery. Now, quick question. Is that just the mystery that we are on, or the overall mystery?
It's on the mystery that we're on.
Okay. Can you come back to me on that while I think of something?
Sure, yeah. You can change one of the existing ones. Yep. You can narrow it. You can define it. You can add another facet to it if there's something else you think is important that you've come to realize. So those are all those things. Let us, though, we'll come and check your start of session question for XP. That's the other thing we need to determine. What do you
Yep.
want for that?
Oh, I think last time I went with doing extreme amounts of collateral damage.
Which you did.
Yeah. So I'm, you know what, I'm going to stick with that because I feel like it's going to really become. I think it's become relevant in this session.
Sure, absolutely. You're in a highly populated area. Very easy for you to do collateral damage that will matter to people.
And I think I have an idea about declaring that aspect of the mystery. I think the Fae are interested in these kids because they're supposed to be. One of them is supposed to become the new queen of. We're dealing with the summer court, correct?
You're not sure?
One of them is supposed to become the new queen of the summer court, and one is supposed to become the new queen of the winter court.
So do you want that as a new facet, like Queen of the Fairy, Queens of the Fairy?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it that way.
Okay.
Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
Queens of the Fae Courts. Okay. And I will make adjustments to the drop downs on that as well. Let me align that format. Alignment left. Okay. All right. Let's come to Iceling. Do you have any start of session moves? Okay.
I do not have any.
Okay. Then what would you like as your question for XP at the end of session?
Yeah. I think I will tie it to what happened last in my story. So I will choose, did you entangle another monster within your prophecy?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's an appropriate one. And you may, from the 2 sessions ago, you may clear your conditions that you have marked. If you want to keep one marked, you're welcome to do that.
I mean, new and fresh, ready to prove myself.
Absolutely.
Don't need any conditions.
I'll talk about what you were up to last time while they were investigating. Egther, you have a start of session move, don't you?
No. Not unless there's one I'm forgetting, which there may be.
No, that's right. I forget that you have that sort of recall your lessons of your past, which is a little bit like another books a start of session thing. So I mixed that up. What do you want for your XP question?
I have picked, did you allow yourself to find hope in the arms of another monster?
Okay. I think that's a good one. And then Suriel, do you have a start of session?
No, surprisingly, because frankly, Suriel feels he ought to have one.
Okay.
But in terms of my XP question, if in doubt, go where it's obvious. So I will. Did you bless the weak with the immeasurable glory of your presence?
Excellent. So, Iceling, just to tell you, at the end of last mission, when everybody was brought back, you would have been, taken apart from the rest of the team, and because you were such, this is a new mission, a new team, they would have sat you down with some of your instructors from the orphanage and some other things to talk about your experience there and what you thought and how you felt about that. What is the one thing that you would have tried to get across to them about how you performed on that mission or what you thought of the others on that mission?
Well, a good question. Well, based on, I felt that, chain of command was really broken here, and the whole cooperation thing everybody's just doing their own things. No one's listening to any orders.
Yeah, and
everybody keeps running away to do like their own interests or whatever. Like,
They would have said, yeah, this is an issue with the kinds of teams you're going to be working with, of people who have very strong personalities, who have very passionate agendas. It's not something we can really train for. But we just want you to try and keep your wits about you, and understand that there is a purpose to the missions, that we are trying to protect people, and that should be your guiding star in all of this.
Of course.
And they would have been very generous in their praise of you. They would have said that the reports from the others were very positive about your work, and then a little bit after the other group, rest of the team had been dispatched, you would have been sent on. They would have given you a little bit of warning. You are being sent to England, to Great Britain. This is a country that does not like monsters. They hate them. There's a long tradition of that. There's no division HQ or support staff in England. We've been asked to send a team in because their particular group, MI666, asked for our assistance because they couldn't handle the situation. The ferry, called the Gentry, have returned. They are sort of fairy colonialist exploiters. They're the ones that took all the magic from England, and when they used it all up, that's when they left England. But now this group of fae called the Company have returned, and what they're up to is uncertain, but it can't be anything good. And they're worried about what kind of exploitative process they wish to wreak on the British public.
Yeah. Well, someone's colonially exploiting English. I mean, couldn't happen to better country, I guess.
There is that. So let me tell you what happened to the group last time. So
I watched the video.
Oh,
so
did you?
I
Okay,
like
so
that.
you know the basics. So we're
Yeah,
actually going to kind of take up with the team regathering in London, having a chance to kind of meet up. Suriel didn't get out of London proper. Suriel had to hide, of course. But Egther returns from his bloody trip to the mines, and Lissa from her visit to the suburbs, and Aisling, they would have sent along a division agent to get you to the meetup site, who would have then immediately taken off. Suriel, what is the London meetup point for your group to reconvene to discuss matters?
Yeah, I think it's the closest MI666 has to a safe house these days, which is a disused 1950s tube station platform.
Absolutely. One where when you go down into it, you can really hear the breath of the dragon, like it's close by here. And essentially, there is a tea shop that is kind of left open, essentially with plasticine bits and tile, and the kind of the smell of the tube coming up through here. And there are a couple of kettles and a working faucet, and little packs of tea scattered all around there. No cream. They don't have a working fridge here. So,
and no coffee.
Yeah, no coffee, of course. So Aisling, what is your mood when you arrive, are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you ambivalent? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a new mission. We've survived the last mission, and yeah, I'm, you know, finally I'm going into this. I'm not a complete newbie on this team. Everything's gonna go fine. I will finally prove myself to them, They will stop thinking of me as a teenager. And yeah. Also,
That
I'm
sounds
thinking, to get some spice into Aisling's relationship with MI6, would it be okay if she was technically like materialized in Belfast?
Oh, wait, where she first appeared?
Yeah. Belfast City Hospital, let's say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That in fact there might be some records on you among the British authorities that might be a problem later on. I think that's a good thing hanging over you. So Serial, the team is reassembled. Information's been passed. General summaries about what's gone on. The three keys that you have are that nursery rhyme that was passed on to you, Serial. We have that stone circle, that sort of blood written out outline of another site that Egther found, and that children's book with the bits cut out that Alyssa discovered.
And it's always great when an agent catches up with the team with a light in her eye, a spring in her step, and I smile warmly at Aisling and say, 3 teas, 2 sugars in mine. It's just over there. I'd like to mark 4 darkness tokens for spite and arrogance, please.
That does seem a little spiteful, yes.
Fine, I'm gonna make him a tea.
Okay.
Just because I'm making mine.
I think that is fair. So, Serial, what is your approach here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried because the evidence from, I've forgotten his name, it will come back to me in a moment, Mr. Dropsy. I mean, Mr. Dropsy was just, sucked out of existence by the Gentry, I assume, just for talking to me. So I am nervous the Gentry is live and dangerous on the streets of London. So I think that we need to get closer to them. And maybe that's about following Dropsy, finding a way to follow him wherever he got taken. I think we need to get up close and personal to these freaks.
Well, I mean, from what you're saying is that they are onto us. They know we are after them. If they are just, grabbing people into the sky just in front of you. So first of all, I don't think we should be splitting anymore.
I think that's very fair, Ailing. Yes.
We don't know where we get ambushed.
Igtha, what about this mine?
Mine, it's clearly been visited. It was visited while I was there, as far as I could tell.
Are you clear what actually killed them? And is there any way to find out?
Well, I think you know more of these elves than I do. More than I can recall, at least.
So if this is sort of just a general question, the kind of information I think that we can say, it certainly felt like these were some kind of red cap, the most sort of bloodthirsty of the Hobbs, with great wicked teeth. They certainly, like a pack of little fairy piranhas, stripped these two people down to the bones.
And what about these kids, Lissa? What's that all about?
These kids, and I point to Alice and Eleanor, who are playing in a corner. It's like,
Oh, you
that's
brought with
Alice.
Well,
you, yes.
you're back in London at this point.
Is it okay if I bring them with me since I know I need to protect them?
So you want to take them from their parents then?
I mean, after the house blew up, yeah.
Well, you didn't blow up the house. You damaged the front door to scare the parents.
But then I thought the interior of the house, or the front of the half of the house, blew in. Like
No, I think we
exploded inward.
had that the ashes in the sky, I think, was that
Okay.
thing. I mean, it's okay if you want to have taken these kids from their parents and be responsible for them, but
Yeah.
of course there's some potential fallout for that.
I would have at least negotiated it with the parents and basically said something like, I need to get them to a safer place. But yeah, I'm okay with taking on the taking on the responsibility of caring for these two kids.
Okay, so Suriel, Lissa has brought these two 11 and 12-year-old twins with her, and has them in the corner, has taken them from their parents. You're muted.
Yes, so I am. Well, I'd like to use soul venom to get an insight into them. Maybe starting with power through, probably unleash the dark, I think, isn't it? And then
what is your
grasp a
goal
key.
here? What is it that you want?
I want to
from
know what's
this?
with them. I want to know what's going on. Are they the focus or something, or are they attracting something, or are they generating something? Are they a risk or are they a victim?
So that almost feels like you're grasping for a key.
I am. I didn't know whether you wanted me to use soul venom to kind of
No, that's a
get
fictional
positioning.
justification for doing that. Let's have you roll, and certainly Lissa had found some information out about them from last time. How many darkness tokens do you want to spend on this?
I think I'll spend 3 of the 4. Oh, that is 12 plus 3 is 15.
That is a 15.
What are the consequences of going over the top here?
So on an 11 plus, you uncover a key, but there's a significant complication, cost, or fallout, and the keeper will tell you what it is.
I'm conscious that I've put a line on harm to children.
Yes.
So with an eye to that, I think I'm prepared to stick with 11 plus.
Okay.
Because I have to burn every bond I have to get that back down into range, really.
I'm going to put a tick on the doomsday clock first. Come back to that in just a second. Let me give you your key. And then I'm going to tell you about the doomsday clock, and then I want to come to Lissa, okay? Mm-hmm. Let's see. Trying to get just the right thing. I think one of the things that you will notice on the kids as you're kind of looking is there's a certain sparkle to them that at first you think maybe because of Lissa's moving them here, because of what happened at the house, that maybe it's just dust. But I think as you look, you will realize that they have been dusted with fairy dust. They've tried to kind of wipe it away, but they have definitely been sprinkled with delightful fairy dust, and that is your key.
Just to check, is it the sprinkling with dust or children sprinkled with fairy dust? Does it matter?
I think the key as it's written is the essentially the person sprinkled with dust, I think is the best way. And you have some variants when you go to define it.
Yeah,
But I think the thing is, when these two children, when these twins look up at you, Surreal, you realize that they are twins, but you can see that they have different eyes. And one of the twins has your eyes.
Ah,
And the
damn it,
other
no,
twin
not again.
has Gazamak's eyes.
Oh. Oh, always, always, always. Oh. Oh, kids. Oh, carry on playing.
Okay.
Oh.
Lissa, Surreal's kind of asked you about what you plan to do with the kids, what's going on with them. What do you think?
Well, Surreal, I think the first thing I need to do is keep them away from you so that you don't put any of your "I'm a god, ooh, look at me" bullshit in them.
Oh, they've got plenty of that of their own. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. Why do you think I brought them here? I'm just saying, these two, I'm protecting them. So don't do any of your normal bullshit. And
They're children.
I'm being vicious here. So I think I'll take 4 darkness tokens. Because without getting into the details, I mean, I think Surreal can tell. It's like I'm deadly serious about this, like actually deadly serious. Like your head will be replaced by a singularity, and most gods need their head to be a god.
You have nothing to worry about from me. This would be like killing myself.
If you thought it would get you another follower or two, I'm pretty sure you would do that.
Oh, the mana value of children is trivially small. It's not worth the candle.
What did I ever see in you? Did I just, and I look at Egther and I say, Egther, did I just have a thing for assholes when I tried to date this asshole?
I wouldn't try to second guess your choices in who you spend your time with.
I had a thing for assholes. I thought so.
Egther, do you have the sense that she's including you in that descriptor?
Yeah, but I don't think it doesn't like I'm more amused by that than offended.
So what is the plan then for the group? Certainly you've got lots of interesting places to potentially research here in London. You've got some other leads that are out there. You could, since you don't want to split up, you could split into pairs or go all as one to a particular site. What do you think?
I think it's a lovely idea to divide us up into the less usual pairs.
So, Cyril, what do you say? What do you suggest?
Well, I mean, the natural pairing is me and Lissa. There's no way that can go wrong.
Right.
Especially now with me dragging 2 kids along.
Well, that's my question, really, is are you going to stay here with them or are you going to take them everywhere? Again, I'm worried about taking them everywhere we go, because either it kind of, because of the line,
Okay.
they're kind of an invincibility screen in a way, aren't they? Because it's going to be difficult for us to be at risk without them being at risk of harm.
That's a good
Can
point.
we just drop them off with M66?
That my feeling is, I think it's difficult given the line we've got on harm to children to have them in the action, and equally, it's going to be pretty tedious having you stuck in that tube station.
Are
I
you
think-
okay, Puckett, with us like setting up an NPC to monitor them?
I don't see why it couldn't be the head of MI666.
Okay, so you're going to call up M, and he's like, "What is it you want? You want me to babysit?"
More or less. But they're a bit touched, so they need to be protected.
All right. I will come. I'll bring a book to read, and I will watch over them at the safe house. I don't have anyone readily I can call from our staffing. Those got cut or got sent over to other divisions, so I will be there shortly.
Bring some books for them as well, preferably nothing with fairies in them.
Fair enough. So we're going to have Suriel and Lissa. We're going to essentially, so the twins are safe. They're kind of off the table. They're in a locale there, essentially for the moment. Suriel, Lissa, where do you want to head? And then we'll check in with Isling Egther and see where they want to head.
I'm going to hand that off to Lissa.
And here I thought you had an idea. All righty. What are our options again, Lowell?
So in terms of the things that you've been told about, there's been mention of checking out different magical sites. There's been mention of doing research here at places with perhaps some interesting texts here at the British Library, things like that. But the other details that you were given, there is a Fey spy that's in custody. There is Black Annis, who has said that they have information that they could pass on.
Okay.
And there may be other mine locations. It was mentioned that there were more than one of these ritual killings.
I feel like Suriel would probably be best served dealing with a spy, considering his ability to manipulate people. So, Alan, are you cool with that? Okay.
So you two will go and speak with the Fey spy that is in custody. Egther, Isling, what do you want to do?
Well, I guess we're stuck. I guess we should check Black Annis and the stolen artifacts.
Okay. All right. So we will cut to that, again, that railway travel. You've got your rail pass. You'll catch that. There's those weird stopovers where we're sorry, there's a delay. Please wait. And then it stops and starts again. There's that little bit of just kind of drizzling rain and overcast as you go along. And Suriel, you and Lissa will, step off on this small train platform, and there is a gentleman has a military bearing to him, who's in a jacket, with the patches on the elbows, and he says, "You are Mr. Gath and Miss Starkweather?"
One and the
Indeed we
same.
are.
I've been assigned to take you to the facility. If you'll
Please tell
follow
me you
me.
have a car. So we're not-
Absolutely.
Okay. Because I mean, we're used to like train passes and almost horseback carriages and whatnot. So it's good to know that somebody around here has a car.
Yes. And he will take you down to a kind of older, clearly kept in vague shape motor pool style vehicle, kind of hard seats and not great suspension. And he will drive and he will say, so we have a very modest staff at the site. Most of the other internees were released or dispatched some time ago. The person you'll be seeing is the last of our active prisoners. We've been given a set of security passes for you. Once you go in, we'll ask that you not pass anything or reach into the cage in any way, shape, or form. He has gotten out before. So there was an incident with that back in the 80s that was pretty bloody. It's a little before my time, but as I understand it, he did quite a bit of damage. So
Is there by any chance a file to leaf through on the journey, just so we got some idea of background, or if not?
no, they didn't give you anything. You
hands
kind of
across the
ask
seas.
about, is there a file? And he says, that's with the Ministry of Defense. I'm sure that you can speak with them, or you can speak with MI. He doesn't say the full name, and they should be able to request that to come down from the files.
Thank you, very helpful.
Just so we're clear, when you say dispatched, do you mean killed?
Yes.
I think it may just be appropriate to catch his eye in the mirror as he's driving and unleash Call Me Master.
Okay.
I'll spend the single one I've got, token I've got. 9, 10.
10.
So on 9 to 10, you have claimed new worshippers. Choose one. They will fulfill a single command exactly as you wish. Which is, tell me everything you know about this prisoner.
They're dangerous. You're not allowed to talk to them for more than a few minutes. They change form as they wish. They are kept encased in a layered set of 3 cages of cold iron. Once a year, they're given a solution that is sent down from Whitehall that feeds them for the year. Nobody knows what it is, but I've heard it's the souls of ghosts harvested from one of the old crypts. They agitate, but they play at being polite. And they're a horrible, foul, stinking monster. And if I had my way, we would have just put him out of his misery years ago.
Really helpful, thank you.
You see, Serial, that's how you communicate directly. You could actually take some communications lessons from this individual, from this person.
Indeed, short and to the point.
Yes, and direct and honest and forthright and not at all like an asshole. I'll take 3 more tokens for that.
So you two will arrive at there's a barbed wire fence. This guy has to get out and open the gate himself. There's nobody on the box. It drives through, takes you to a cold, you guessing World War II era bunker, and will walk you down the concrete steps. Everything here feels wet and cold. Takes you down. He has a key and a voice thing, and opens. He has to put a drop of his blood on the thing. And then there's a stone hallway. There's like a bunk room and a tea room, and then another chap at a desk with a little TV and a cuppa who's there, who will check your badges and then will open the doors and walk you down some empty hallways until they bring you to a big room, and they will say there's a buzz button on the inside. Just buzz us when you want to be let out. And
I look at Lissa as if to say, well, this is great, isn't it? What do we see?
yeah, they'll open this heavy door, and inside you'll see this big concrete room, and there's a largish platform with a chair. There's a little video screen and a VCR and a stack of tapes and some books and things like that. There's no Wi-Fi or connection or signal in here, and you can see that there's a cage that's in sort of offset in 3 layers of cold iron that's around this, and you'll see this lovely young woman seated there in the middle of it, who will look up and will stand up, and she will say, "It has been a while since I've had visitors." And then there's the of the door behind you.
Have we talked, Lissa, about whether we start with the bad cop or the good cop?
I just figured you'd do your surreal thing, and I just kind of stand there.
Um,
Well, I'm going to cut away from you two, since we've got that set up. And I will come to Aisling and Egther. And again, riding on the train through the land, the bits and pieces throughout. Aisling, you look normal in your human form, so no one gives you a second look. Egther has a little more of a presence to him, even cloaked and concealed as he is. People move away from him, like they get away, and within a few minutes, like the people have reshuffled where they are in the carriage, such that you and Egther, have nobody around you.
Yeah, and I think Egther is sitting like slumped down in his seat with his legs stretched out over the over the what do you call it, the aisle in the middle of the carriage. So he's taking up a lot of space there.
Look around. Looks like I'm complete failure as nightmare.
You will end up at a train station. Again, small village. You actually have to walk on into the village and then walk through town. We're very much in Midsummer Murders country at this point. And you will walk to the edge of town. There is a little house. It's a little stand of woods. There's a rusted out caravan out front. There's a well that has been cemented up, and it has a look of kind of a scary abandoned place. Very much in your wheelhouse, Aisling. You feel very at home here.
Yeah.
And in fact, when you approach, the door will swing open, and you will see this tall, stoop-shouldered, blue-skinned, scraggly hair hag with long fingers, who comes immediately trotting down the sidewalk. Though she clearly doesn't like being out in the light of day, but she comes out and she comes over to you and Aisling, and she reaches out and she pinches your cheek. And she's like, oh, it's the drowning nightmare. Oh, it's so good to see you.
You're close.
Aren't you? I could smell the water and the stink and the desperate grasping for breath.
Oh, that's...
Oh, we should probably go inside.
Yes.
Come on,
I'm actually the hunting nightmare.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, no. But you've been near it. You've been near the drowning recently, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
We talked.
So familiar. So familiar. Come in. Oh, and what of you, huh? Interesting. And she will take you inside, and it is a retiree hoarder's old woman's house. It is filled with knickknacks and junk and stacks of magazines and newspapers. She clearly doesn't have cats, because that's not the smell you're getting here, but you're not sure what kind of animal she has. You don't see any of them. You just see some saucers with like dried blood in the bottom of them laid out, like they feed on that. And she will say, M phoned ahead to say that you would be coming. So I've had the kettle on all morning. Perhaps you've brought old Black Annis a gift? Yes.
I like look at Hector.
Ooh. I have a story for you.
No biscuits, no crisps, no tea, no sugar. Didn't bring anything of that kind.
Hector, from one of his large coat pockets, he pulls up like a half-empty thing of biscuits that he got for the train ride.
And she'll take that greedily, and she'll be very pleased by that. Yes, stories only get you so far these days.
Well, as for my gift, you will see it, in the night.
Fair enough. That's good. So come in. I'm sorry, it's a little cold here. But you try heating when they keep cutting back on your fuel expenses every year. A little bit less, a little bit fewer fuel coupons, a little bit tighter on that. I have to go out and freelance sometimes to make a little extra pocket money, because they just keep doing. They made the deal with me in the 50s, and then it seems like every decade, every year, they just slice it down a little bit more. You know, I don't want to get back into the life, you know, but things have gotten desperate.
Yeah, I get it. You know, United Kingdom government and their ability to keep deals. You tell me.
Yes, yes. I would very much like to help you too. And I told him that I could help, and M said I should talk to you. It's just that they've cut my blood pension again this year. Maybe you too. I mean, you must have just buckets and buckets of blood in America. I mean, the streets must run red.
Blood pension.
We're not located in the on that side of the Great Sea.
Oh, I just assumed. But do you think you could do anything for me on that score?
This is really not the sort of thing Egther will go in for with like requisitions and that sort of thing, and trying to navigate the bureaucracy. So I think
You know what? I think, look, I think that as speaking in the name of division, I'm sure we can reach some sort of agreement. I'm sure you are coming, you know, along for you are finding a lot of information. From what my understanding, you're a very well informed member of this community.
Oh, yes,
And you know, just between you and me, I'm sure we can cut some deal on the side, you know, without M66 knowing or anything.
Oh, I like where this conversation is going very much.
So
Do you want to use your emotional amplification to power through darkness to get what you want, or do you think you want to? Okay.
Yeah. I just want to make her double agent, basically.
Okay. How many darkness tokens do you want to spend?
You know what? Let's put 3 in.
Okay.
See where it goes. Where does it roll right here? 2d6 plus 3. Well, that's a lot.
Yes, that is a 12. So you can mark a condition to exert better control of your powers, or you can kind of have the situation go out of your control.
You know what? I will just mark condition. I have 0 conditions, so it should be fine.
What are you marking?
You know what? I'm marking obsessed. Yeah, I'm just have to prove myself, and
I trust you. I know you'll do right by me. You in division. Maybe you'll even get me out of here. Get me a nice, quiet place in the country with a nice deep well. Maybe someplace up in the Northlands. You could do that. You know, we could work that out. Yeah.
we will see. We will provide you some, you know, blood requisition, and then we will see what kind of services you can provide to us, and you know, then we can be talking. You know.
And she will go and go over to a drawer and open it up and open up a little box and a little notebook. And we're going to take our break here. We're going to come back with Suriel and Lissa, and then with you and Egther, with what you are learning from them. So take 10, and we'll be back. And I think just as we come into the changing, you realize that that guard was very much using he to very deliberately, you know, that probably they them is what this changing would prefer to be referred to as, but there's that kind of attitude on the parts of the guards here. But Serial, Alyssa, there are two very hard plastic chairs there for you to sit on, and the changing she'll sit and kind of brushes her shoulders, and you are not the usual inquisitors. No agents, no night watchers, none of the tin men that come through and check, not a sandbagger. You're something else entirely.
Yes, they're all quite dull. Also, your seating doesn't look very comfortable.
It isn't.
Well, let me do something about that. And I would like to use my power to basically make a chair out of ether, as it were. It's basically just adjusting gravity where this changeling is so that they can sit and recline and just kind of feel like they're being cushioned by air as opposed to, well, that.
All right. I think we're in a place with some magical security, so I will have you power through darkness.
Okay. And this seems like it would be fun if something went sideways, so I will spend 3 darkness tokens. That's a 9.
That is a 9. So yeah, absolutely. They will note the shifting counter physics chair there, and they will seat themselves in it and recline. And it's very, very much thank you. No one is ever quite so polite. But you're not Brits.
I'm not sure I'm much better. I am American.
Well, are you now? Very much bang bang, exciting.
And then this one, and I point to Serial. Serial, did they even have a name for the place that you came from when you came from there?
I'm in the happy position of being all things to all men, and therefore all things to all beings. And I think Serial is stalking around the cage while Lissa has this conversation, just seeking to unsettle the changeling a little.
You'll have to excuse him. He's an asshole.
No, I think he's a god.
Oh, God. Please don't play into his delusions. He's insufferable enough.
I think it's a delusion. Is it a delusion? What, as Serial was it?
What you see is what you get.
There we are. So, why have you come a calling?
I'll just look at Serial and say, hey, you're the people person.
It's just a chat, really. We think you've been here quite a long time.
I have. As you probably know, I was put in place when the one I swapped with was very, very young. But things went sort of sideways, and I was captured not long after that.
the bottom line here
Mm-hmm.
is that we'd like to help you. I mean, Lissa says I'm an asshole, but actually, I'm the good cop in this one. You know, you see what she did with the chair? She can do that with anything. And I have to tell you, she has some difficulty with impulse control. And so I genuinely want to help you, and all I need is some help from you. Because I care about people like you, trapped, imprisoned, frowned upon by everyone around you. The guy who drove us here, he said he'd rather end you. He's not only sick of the whole holding you here thing.
Mm-hmm.
It almost was like he felt that would be the best for everyone. But of course, Lissa and I, we're monsters too, in the eyes of those people. I think I've revealed my heart.
I like that. How much do you want to spend?
Yeah, I'm not sure I've got anything to spend, so no, I'm down to straight 2d6. Oh my, that's a 7. Now, let me just see where this could take me. I think that I will spend bond here to get that
Okay.
up into the comfortable zone. I will spend bond with Lissa because it would be embarrassing for this to go sideways.
Yeah, it would be.
It's time to give Gazamak the finger, so let's burn that bond.
Okay.
So that's 2, gets me to 7. And I think I'll drop Tanya's name. As you know, I when I spoke to Tanya yesterday, she helped me out, and wave of the hand, and the 2 skinheads appear. What I haven't told Lissa is that she gave me the disguise for me and somebody else, but being Tanya, she didn't give me control over the second person, so it tends to be the nearest person.
Alan, real quick, when you burn a bond with me, you actually get +3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the we're family now move.
Oh, I said, well, I'd forgotten all about that. So I won't even burn Tanya and Gazamak then. I'll just take the 3. Thank you.
Changeling looks, he just says, you've talked around things quite a bit, but you haven't said what's going on and what do you need?
I need an insight. And can I call you something? I mean, did they mention changeling? It seems so impersonal.
You're welcome to give me a name.
I'd like to call you friend.
And friend it is.
Ting.
That is the name that I will take.
So on an 8 to 10, your heart reaches, choose one. If they are a PC and they choose to deepen the connection further, they choose 1 too. I want to grow closer, gain 1 bond with them. They're not a PC, so it's by the by.
So what is it that you want?
Okay. I want to know, do we have any indication of how long she's been here?
They've been here
decades or centuries, I think is
centuries, a couple centuries.
Okay. When they locked you up here, the sense I get is the gentry were all over the place.
They were already wrapping up some things by my time, but there were still some fine flour out there, but
and then they did go away.
They did.
And they stayed away.
Yes.
So the insight I'm looking for is why come back now? Because all the indications are the gentry's back in town. I don't know if they're back to help you or what, but I'm curious. Why now? Poof.
Well, let me say to you, if I may, you're right that they are back. I mean, to be honest, I was put in place to be put in place someplace like this. That's my job, to observe that kind of thing, to report in, to give a debrief. And I'm very good at my job. Here's the thing. This place is going to burn. It's going to go up. This country, this world is on the edge of a precipice, and there's still magic to be wrung out of it. And if something's going to go under and you want to get something from it, you got to get in there before it sinks beneath the waves, goes away. That's why the Gentry are back.
Asset stripping.
Absolutely. The siren call, they heard Brexit, and that just sang a song to them. That's what they told me.
I think I'd like to grasp for a key here.
Absolutely.
Still nothing to play with, and I don't think I've got anything going for me. Have I asked her if them to betray the Gentry? Or have I not gone that far?
I don't think you've gone that far.
Fine, just 2d6 plus 0 then. Oh, that's a 6. Oh, ow.
Do you have another bond with Lissa you could spend?
No, sadly not. So I will drop Tanya's name.
Okay.
And I'll burn the bond that I've picked up with Friend.
Okay.
To get me to 8.
So, as you can imagine, can I give you something?
Now that's very tricky, isn't it? Because there's this whole thing about fae and gifts and favors and stuff. So that could be complicated.
How about this? And they'll go over, and you see them kind of reach under the stack of VCR tapes, and they'll pull out a letter. You can see it's in an envelope, and they kind of walk over to the edge of the cage, and they just kind of let it drop, and it'll flutter and fall out, and they go, oops.
Thank you, Friend. It looks like I found a letter. I wonder what it is. I open the letter.
And you will see it is a letter with a Department of British Resources, like official governmental heading, and you can see that it's an agreement with Mr. Hearn for exploration of new possibilities of alternate resources and energy supplies to be provided via private contracts to the British government.
If I summarize that as an agreement for the exploitation of alternative resources, would that do?
Yes, a government contract letter, essentially exploratory.
HMG agreement for the exploitation of alternative resources. And I shouldn't have read that. Forgive me. I tuck it back in the envelope and toss it back through the bars.
So, are you two going to let me out?
Sadly not.
Gasp. Really? I
No.
thought we'd become quite chummy here. And you certainly aren't afraid of me. Neither
No,
of
not in
you.
any real sense. I mean,
No,
perhaps we should be.
I
But,
don't think
I
so.
explained Lissa's, impulse control.
Oh, absolutely. See, that feels like a chain you'd have around my neck. That kind of ongoing threat.
But
I
look,
mean, I could set you free if you wanted.
Oh, see, we say that in such a way that you make me grin. I'd rather be just let out of the cage.
See, it
I
strikes
think
me that giving that comfortable seating is having done you a favor.
If I had asked for it, yes, but
I
I
see.
did not.
not a favor, but a gift.
Always the rules with you.
Ah, so not gonna let me out?
Not today.
Not today.
Tomorrow might be another story.
Tomorrow is always another day.
It is always. Well, be seeing you.
Have a good one. And then press the button for exit.
Okay. We'll come back to you too in a moment. Aisling, Egther, Black Annis kind of excitedly comes back to you, and she goes, "Oh, let me get that tea first. Do you take anything? You're from the north. I've got some salted licorice."
Yes, that would be lovely.
Oh, bring that. It tastes like a tire burning. And she'll bring it back and set down these little plates of some black salted licorice, and then she'll go and get the tea, and she'll pour that out. Mismatched cups, the cracked little teapot. She pours that out for you, and she'll say, "So I know that the company has been back, and they have been subcontracting to a variety of, how do I put this? The leftover laborers, the knockers and hobs and padfoots, and all of the little ones that have remained around that didn't get scraped up when the company left. The ones that have survived and maybe managed to make some inroads in places, they have been engaging with them to obtain relics, things of power that have been left behind here, essentially trying to get them out. They've forged some lovely replicas that they're swapping out, but that's part of what they're about, is gathering those things. They've been to the British Museum and some other places. They're working carefully. They're trying to do it in such a way that nobody sees it. But you know how it is. When you go into a place, you want to take some of those beautiful pieces back home. They're talking about taking those marbles back to Elfland. Those are the kinds of things that they're engaged in, but also this. And she will hold up this little gray piece of plastic, and she will hand it to you, Aisling.
Yes.
And you will kind of look at it for a second, and it takes you a moment to realize that it is a game cartridge for like a 3DS, and it's got a blank label on it.
Thank you.
They've been taking and they've been leaving behind.
Oh, what is it?
I think I'm going to have you roll Grasp for Keys here.
Sure.
just to see kind of
Yeah.
what the cost is of this key you're getting here.
Yeah. So I'm going to get all my one darkness token into it.
Sure.
Which is still over. Well, I could spend.
Spend a bond, take it down
Bond.
to a 10.
Yeah, what bonds do I even have? Okay, I have one with Lisa, and I have one with two with Lisa and two with darkness. So, how do I invoke Lisa into this?
You want to impress her?
Yeah. I want to impress her. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And she will say, there is a game on there, but it is not a published game. It is a game unusual, strange.
Thank you. I will certainly look into it.
It doesn't have to be a big well. It could be just a water pipe. I can get into anything. So if they could set me up with something like that, I mean, even a septic system would be enough for me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I will. I will tell our technicians to look into it.
Good. Thank you. So, what are you going to do next, you two? She says. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to head?
Well, yes, we shall control the other half of our contact our other half of our team, and after that, we could probably look into a few places where those leftover red caps and other people meet or something. We will see.
Absolutely. If you need Annie's help again, I'm here. I'm here
course.
to
Thank you.
assist. You
Thank
know
you.
that.
Do you know of a place nearby where these laborers could be found?
Well, there is a little pub in a village not far away from here called Tir Naog. And it's run by an old ogre. He's had some work done to blend in. And after hours, it's quite the hopping place, or hobbing place, as you might say. Does that help you, Mr. Egther?
I think it might be useful to see if we can find someone who is talkative.
Good. I'm glad to help you. Consider that repayment for these delicious biscuits that you brought me.
By all means, they are all yours.
And
And thank you for the licorice and the tea.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, you two take care of yourselves. And maybe the next time that I see you, Miss Eisling, was it?
Yes.
Maybe you'll bring your little drowned friend with you to chat.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, good.
You.
Be seeing you.
Yeah.
So shall we like cut to the group back together? Is that cool. We'll kind of
Sure. Yeah.
do that montage a little bit later in the day, a little
Yeah.
rail travel, the evening rush out of London to the suburbs, but you'll make your way back.
Yeah, I will buy 3DS on the way.
Okay.
When it comes as a division expense, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, again, nice. Of course, now they don't sell them new. You have to buy them used, so but
Yeah.
you can get one of those. And the four of you will gather together.
This is a deep and sinister plot, my friends.
Have you found out something useful?
Well, it appears that the government is involved in selling off, inverted commas, alternative resources to a Mr. Hearn. I wonder what he's hunting for.
I think I'd like to use my move now.
Okay.
How the wisdom of your people may help in this situation. I assume someone at some point has had some dealings with Hearn.
That seems like a reasonable thing. How many points do you want to spend on that?
0, because that's all I have. Let me get to the dice room. There we go. 2 dice. That's an 8. That's within bounds, right?
Yeah, that's in that thing. And what that move is, which move?
Ashes to ashes. When you declare how the wisdom of your people may help in a situation. And I think this is knowing how Hearn might be connected to this and what that would say generally about what's going on.
Yeah. So you're trying to recall ancient knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your question specifically?
My question is, I want to ask something specific about her. But I'm not sure what. Does someone have a good idea for a question? Maybe how.
So I've just typed, where does he hang out? Is there
Oh
some
yeah,
place
that's
of
good.
power
That's
linked
good.
to her?
Where could we find him, or how could we find him?
Well, you will know that Hearn is a how to put it, kind of a headhunter for the company. He is that kind of aggressive agent who's tracking down things. He is not a CEO, but you know he is one of those movers and shakers, hustlers, who work through things for the company. And look at the suggested locations here. And I think you know that he has as his sort of offices that he works out of in Britain is at the Long Man of Wilmington, which is a big figure carved into the hillside in Sussex. They used to think it was very old, but then they've discovered that it's not that old. But it's apparently like that's where he has his little offices. There's a figure with sort of two staves, that there's a gate there. That's where he used to set up shop. Where he had his kennels too.
Cool. I think for my second choice, I recognize the sign's importance hanging over your fellow monsters, so everyone gains one darkness token.
Okay, and that includes you.
I assume so, since
Yeah.
it has each PC.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, maybe that wasn't the question.
No. So Alyssa, what are you thinking now? What do you think M and the kids are doing when you come back to the tube station?
I think they've tied M to a chair and are just like dancing around him, giggling.
And he says, I used to have to pay good money for this.
Kids, let him loose. It's not fun to play with a mortal.
He opens his mouth to say something and then closes it. That's right. They will reluctantly do it, but they will untie him.
No, Cyril. It occurs to me that we can. Well, you know what a decapitation strike is, don't you?
Yes, but remember, he's not the chief executive officer. He's senior vice president for headhunting.
No, not that. I'll gesture at the kids and say, we can fix this real quick, real simple. We just do a literal decapitation strike, allow these two to ascend to their rightful place, and stay with them as trusted advisors to reduce the risk of something like this happening again.
I get that. I think my only concern is, are we entirely certain who we're decapitating? Maybe I missed the memo.
I mean, with my powers, suffice it to say, a little imprecision might not be the worst thing because it allows us to take out a range of targets. Just in case, just to be on the safe side.
I'm still struggling to see even which direction you aim it in.
Yeah, there is that, isn't there?
I mean, have you got a lead on where the company is that I've missed?
Well, we know that Faye in that cell has to have an idea of where they are to communicate with them.
Well, I wish you'd asked that question while we were there.
You were too busy showing off.
Fair point.
I will take 2 darkness tokens for that pot shot at Surreal.
Seems reasonable.
It occurs to me that the Fae probably want these 2 kids. We could simply put the word out and let them come to us.
I'm going to have to invoke the line here.
Yeah.
Totally fair. You know, I'd like to try to open a wormhole between my location and the location of the Fae that's in the 3 iron cages. The changeling.
Okay.
And then step through it to ask a question or two. Is this powering through darkness?
That does feel like that, yes.
All right. I'll spend 3 tokens and roll.
Okay.
That's an 8.
That is an 8. So you will open that up and step into the Fae prison. You see that she's watching a old VHS of Faulty Towers on there. You can see it's barely holding together the tape heads on this thing. And she'll oh, Lissa, have you come to free me?
I could. I do need to know where. Well, I know that you communicate with your friends. Friend,
Mm-hmm.
friend, could you tell me where your friends are?
That I don't know.
And how do you communicate with them?
They come and visit.
I see. Do they come and visit on a schedule?
No, as the fancy takes them.
Oh, and the Fae are quite fanciful, aren't they?
True.
Do you know when they'll be coming next?
That I could not tell you.
I see. Do you still want me to set you free?
I did not say I wanted you to set me free. I said I wanted you to let me out of the cage.
Well,
I'm
bear with
afraid
me.
that you're going to disintegrate me with your great and cosmic power. That is what you intend to do. And then go, well, I set her free. Set them free. Set him free.
You just mentioned being set free this time, so I wondered if your mind had changed. But quite all right. I'm sure cold iron for centuries is probably not that painful, frustrating, or whatever.
Was there
Very
a
well.
point?
Just offering to do a friend a favor. Until next time. And I'll kind of tip a couple of fingers from my forehead, walk back through the wormhole, let it close and say, yeah, they don't know what, they're just a lot of nothing, a lot of nothing. But
So let me pause here. So Aisling, Egger, Surreal, Lissa goes and steps through this gate to talk to your associate, the friend. What are you guys doing while that is going on? Aisling?
Oh yeah. Well, I finally got a time to, turn on my video game, and gain some insight into this. And no one told me to go through this portal, so I'm certainly not going.
Sure.
I want to be alive.
Yeah. You will turn it on. It will come up with a beautiful screen. There's no publish by or copyright thing, but the video game is Zelda and the Queens of Darkness, which is not a Zelda game that you ever heard of.
Yeah.
and you start kind of playing through it, and you'll see it is a very polished Link game, in the tradition of the 3DS games on for Zelda. Someone has done a brilliant job of mimicking that, and it is the story of Link going and rescuing all of these people all over, because Princess Zelda has been split into all of these 108 people, and Link has to get them all and bring them back together.
108. Huh. Maybe a lost reference or something. Who knows?
It's a British reference. There were 108 kings before Charles got killed. There are 108 heroes in the story of the Water Margin. It's a classic number.
I see.
Egther, what are you doing while Iceling is playing on this 3DS? Probably something you've never been able to do with your great, huge fingers. You would snap it in half.
I think I'm watching with idle curiosity. Like, this is a weird little toy thing that these clever humans have come up with, but I'm not sure I fully grasp what's going on.
And certainly I think you're not familiar with the franchise. So
No.
Yeah.
I think I saw someone do a review of this on TikTok, but I didn't quite understand what they were talking about. But I am curious about this number 108.
Mhm.
And if Ailing isn't going to grasp for a key, she is leaving me to do it for her. Ailing?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess I will do it.
Sure. Have you generated any darkness tokens from your interactions here?
I don't think so. But I got one from Actor. So from Actor's move, so here we are.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You might argue that you're exhibiting your condition of obsessed.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Forgot about conditions. Oh, I already rolled. Well,
What do you
some
got?
more bones. 7. One shorter. It's one short.
So grasp your keys. You find more than you were ready for. You may choose to mark ruin to uncover a key, but in doing so, the keeper will reveal how you come closer to becoming a harbinger.
Yeah, let's go for it.
So go ahead and mark ruin. And let me think here. I think that you will have a vision of that's dragged out a little bit from the nightmare realm.
Yeah.
And that kind of reaches into you. And I think you will realize that this game is haunting the dreams of children all over England.
Oh.
That they've passed it around, they've smuggled it around, They've known it was a secret. It's gotten and they've played it. And I think that you will have a vision of another piece. That there is a book out there. It is a strategy guide for an actual Zelda game like Wind Waker or something like that, but that this is one of those kind of knockoff guides that somebody writes up and prints, print on demand, those kinds of things you order on Amazon.
Yeah.
But you can tell that there are words that have been changed in it, like a code that is in it. That is a secret, an invocation. So there is a book, a strategy guide out there that has this codes, and you know that it and copies of it are going around as well.
Yeah. Huh.
Does that seem like a reasonable key?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Well, I guess this is more yeah, so for everyone else, I just fall asleep playing the game. just out of nothing, basically.
What does it look like for the others? What do they see happen when the nightmare realm kind of reaches back into you when you fall asleep?
Huh.
Do you take on the form they've seen before, or is it something different?
Okay, so for the others, oh yeah, you look at me as I'm sleeping there, and there's nothing like you're physically seeing different about like any other sleeping person, except you kind of realize that you've never seen Ailing sleep. So, but that's for another time. But if you look at me, there's some weird feeling as you feel just completely abandoned by everyone, and most importantly, like someone you loved very dearly. Like and you're just feeling it as every time you look at me without any reason to it, but it's there.
And Suriel, I think for you, as you kind of see this, there is that echo because you know that Aisling is the nightmare of being hunted. And I think that there'll be a twig there for you that's an interesting tie to Hearn.
As I feel that, I just reach out and pass my hand over above Ailing and just conjure, crowned by dream, exalted by nightmare. I want to create a weapon of darkness used from this nightmare. And a weapon of darkness, any monster or creature of darkness can use it and see it, but the mundane and mortals cannot.
Okay.
And it is a shadow of Egther's hammer.
Okay.
Which attaches itself to Egther's hammer. So Egther's hammer now sheds two shadows, one of which is a weapon of nightmare. We might need that, Egther. Be careful with it. It's not a toy. Do you fancy a trip to the pub? She's asleep and Lord knows where Lisa is.
Well, let's do this. Let's take our second break. We'll take 5. We'll be right back, and maybe we'll cut to all 4 of you in a pub or something, or individual scenes. Maybe do a chance to have Egther and Suriel talk, and have Lissa and Aisling talk. That actually might be a nice little scene. So let's do 5, and we'll come back to that. So let's start with Egther, Suriel, having headed out of this tube, locked up tube station, walk down a ways. This is not a great part of London. It is a pub that is full of character, let us say, as you come in. So, uh, what does this scene between the two of you look like? I assume Suriel takes the lead.
Well, no, I mean, maybe not, because these two skinheads walk in. So it's not Cyril and Aether, it's just a couple of skinheads.
Yeah. And there is that people looking at you disapprovingly here.
Thumbs under the braces. Whoa.
They will serve you, albeit reluctantly.
Thank you, my old mucker. And then a nice corner seat at the back, I'd have thought. So, Egtha, what's this thing with you and Lissa? Because, you know, it's the will they, won't they, will they, when will they, are they, do they, will they, could they?
How is this of any relevance to you?
This is called trying to make simple human contact, my friend. And I know that's tricky because we're not human, but that doesn't stop you trying, does it?
True, we are neither human nor simple, I would say.
Oh, you're such a serious old bloke. Come on, have a drink, enjoy yourself. It's London, you know, before the fall.
Yeah, Egther will take, he will like gulp half his pint down in one swallow. And I do not understand you want to make human contact with someone who you know is not human, and when you interact with actual humans, it's only to ensnare them in your web of attempted divinity.
Well, look, I appreciate, Egtha, that's the day job. But we're out on the town. It's a night in London. And I go to the bar and I put a wodge of, you know, rumpled fivers that I've conjured using fey glamour behind the bar. Drinks for everyone.
There's at least one old geezer who will walk out, but the others are like free drinks. Okay.
And I think I'm trying to reveal my heart here. And
Okay.
it's like, you know, slogging away at a glacier.
Let's have you roll. How many points do you want to spend?
I don't think I've got many. I got one. I'm not going to spend that. That's for emergencies. A 10.
A 10. So you really reach out.
I do.
What do you want to choose for yourself?
I think that Egtha, because of his you know, the stony faced I'm a monster, don't mess with me, you know, I can't have friends because I'm a monster. I think that teaches me something. I think that teaches me that if we're not careful, the monster gets to be a monster. And gods are not monsters. That's why they say gods and monsters, distinctly different. So I'd like to mark an XP, please.
Yeah, mark that. Egther, how do you respond to this attempt to like bring you out a little bit here? Do you give in a bit? Do you connect with this, or do you absolutely reject the connection?
No, I think I do connect. I think I think I also learned something. I think I learned that Suriel is completely blind to his own faults as I see them.
Mhm.
He's oblivious to the danger he poses to the world around him.
I like that. So yeah, I think we'll cut away from two of you, having that drink in the bar, kind of coming to a little bit of understanding. Lissa, uh, uh, let's say that you come back, and of course your powers are, modify the rules of physics. So maybe a little
Really
more time
quickly,
has passed.
could I grab the visitor's logbook from that facility on my way out? And
Well,
this
you
is,
went
I'm
into
thinking
the
about grasping at keys here.
Well, that so you but you just kind of made a gate into
The cell.
the cell.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with you if you want to do the grasping for keys, and we'll see, kind of figure out what that looks like if you want to do that.
Totally works.
Okay, why don't you roll that for me?
I will spend 3 darkness tokens. Oof. All righty. You know what? I'll burn my bond with Egther.
Okay.
Because just thinking about Egther kind of chills me out a little bit.
All right. So you will kind of like as you're leaving the cell, you'll reach with your powers out to then maybe kind of dimensionally grab something from that desk, the visitor's desk. And I think that you will reach and pull, and it kind of doesn't work. And then you will see you have in your hand a face. And you're kind of a little bit startled, but it's the face of the guy who was at the visitor's desk. And you'll realize that it is this perfectly created mask of that person. And as you look at it, it will change and fade and fall apart into leaves, like autumn leaves, and kind of fall out of your hand.
Okay.
But Iceling, you kind of wake up, still a little bit of the nightmare trappings hanging around you. You look up, you see that Egther and Suriel are gone, but you will see Lissa step back into the room through that hole in the world that she created.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
Hey, Lisa, did you steal something from me?
Not that I remember.
Something was stolen from me when I was asleep.
Well, I just got back, so
Hmm.
you know, I wouldn't put it past Suriel though. Gods thinking that they're entitled to everything. They can just take what they want from whoever.
Probably.
I mean, no gods, no masters.
Yeah. I mean, I think that he's kind of jealous of me because I'm older than him.
Could be. He doesn't like it when he finds people who have more power than he does, or more knowledge, or more wisdom. And frankly, that's kind of everybody. So I'll take a few tokens for being snippy there.
Okay.
Makes sense. Huh. So, well, there's a. First of all, like, someone produced the whole another Zelda game that's just like somehow tied to what we are doing. But it's also like, legit Zelda game that no one ever played. Maybe. Also, there's a guide to another Zelda game that contains clues to what we are. There's some code in it.
Cheat code.
Yeah, we should play that game sometimes, after when we are done with this. What do you think?
I mean, from what you're saying, it sounds like we should play that game now, or at least read the
Yeah, I'm working on
guidebook.
it. I'm
But,
working on it.
Once we're done with this, I'm not sure that we should. This sounds like one of those things that might need to be just tossed into a deep, dark hole and left there so that nobody stumbles across it and inadvertently does something they shouldn't with it. Aren't such things sometimes portals?
I mean, yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Okay, we can play some other. We can play some other game together.
I don't know. Maybe I saw too many horror movies growing up, but where's Egther and Cereal?
Em will speak up over there with the kids, and will say, they went down to the pub.
Okay. You want us to bring you anything? Do they do to-go orders here from pubs or not?
I wouldn't say no to like a little bit of a wrap or a sandwich or something if they do that.
Okay.
Maybe a pasty.
I will see what I can do for you.
Sure. Oh, you've been here for a time, and the kids also. Did you guys steal something from me?
And we'll go, no.
Did you see Cereal doing anything?
We were too occupied over here.
That's what the thief would say.
It is.
But also the innocent person.
You get that a lot in my line of work.
Weird.
I'll
Well,
look over at the kids and say, "You doing okay? You need anything? Hungry?"
Well, yeah, they would like some regular food, and they'd like to go home. And this is a little boring.
Yeah. Well, it'll all make sense soon. I hope.
yeah, exactly. It will all make sense soon. Have to just work on it. Yeah, I don't have time to waste. If anyone wants to get food, it's up to them. I have to search for. Well, I either have to play this game or I have to search for a guide. Hey, you are kids in England. Do you like Zelda games?
Yeah.
Did you play any recently?
They get quiet.
Did you play any bootleg game recently? Bootleg Zelda game? Do you know what bootleg is?
Yeah, we played it.
The Shadow Queen one?
Yes.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. It was okay. It was a little short. The new one on the Switch, like you could play that for hours, but it has weapon degradation. At least this one didn't have that, which I don't like that very much. No, don't like that. Don't like that. This is the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Well, a little bit spoilery into when you get into the real world. The real world also has weapon degradation. It's not that bad like in video games, but still.
Do you have to use weapons? So that they're like pausing, like Why do you need weapons in the real world?
And I'll just kind of smack Ailing on the arm and say, shh. They don't need to know
Oh,
that.
sorry. That was just, I'm just joking. You know, you won't need any weapons in the real life. Never mind. You know, ha ha ha. Jokes.
Let's bring the two parts together. Unless
Could I
Serial
have
has
a
something.
moment?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Could I have a moment? Because I there was something else I wanted to do in the pub before that, which is I'd like to mark 2 ruin to invoke my beloved nemesis. Mark 2 ruin. My nemesis appears in the scene, defying logical plausibility. They will mysteriously offer to help me for now. Gain 1 bond with a nemesis and 1 bond with what the darkness demands of you.
Is this seat
Because I'm
taken?
sick of Gazamak turning up on other people's terms.
Is this seat taken?
Oh no, you!
He looks around and he says, "Everyone, I'm going to be taking this chair. Just everyone should know I'm taking this chair. Just telling, and no one else takes this chair. I'm taking this chair." And he will sit down.
What inexplicable help does Gazamak offer me?
Is this Egther?
Egther, Gazamak, Egther.
We just met briefly in Barcelona. Or you hit me.
Ah, yes. Didn't take, I see.
Well, at least you've had the nerve to turn up in person rather than just kind of appearing to be around a place.
So how are things going here? It's England, huh?
Not what it was, fair to say. Not what it was. I seem to remember a bear pit on the South Bank and Queen Elizabeth. But it's not that much fun anymore.
I remember when this place was alive. I
Before you've
remember,
sucked the pips out of it.
well, there are all kinds of pips to be sucked, as it were. But look, I have no desire for this place to go up. I like this place. I keep some of my stuff here in this place. I like Great Britain. It's an endless supply of fear and loathing when I need it. Of the most mundane kind. So, I can offer you some insight. But we have to agree that we call a truce for a bit.
More than a truce, I'd love to be friends again. I miss you, Gazamak. We spent a lot of quality time together back in the day.
I know that you and yours have taken a couple of kids under your wing for protection.
Not my idea.
They are just one of many.
I bet there's 106 others.
Something like that. It is not the
Wow.
kids. It is what the kids can do.
Fascinating. Am I reaching for a key here?
No, I think this is contextual information is what you're
Okay.
getting here.
Fine. Okay.
I think it's that it says, I just wanted to make sure you weren't on the wrong track of things.
I reach out my hand to take Gazmak's hand in a genuine effort to get back together.
He says, I will shake your hand the next time we meet.
Oh, come on. For old time's sake.
No, my trust for you is a drop in the ocean, my friend.
Oh, sometimes.
But I've helped you.
You have. Give me a hug.
No. I must be going. And he will rise up and he will say, by the way, this look doesn't work for you. And he is out the door and gone, and like he's out the door, and I think that like we see Lissa and Aisling like immediately come through the door.
Yes, it's like they should have bumped into one another,
Yes, but they
but
didn't.
strangely not.
Aisling, Lissa, you'll see Ekthar and Cyril sitting there, kind of looking at you two coming in.
Pints?
The
Seriously?
gang's all here.
Hey, here you are.
There's a drink behind the bar for both of you.
But pints?
You could try and drink something else here.
Okay, I will give my pint to Hector and order a soda.
Make sure you ask for it in a dirty glass.
And I will wave for a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not good whiskey, but it is whiskey.
I mean,
70.
the alcohol content, and it should kill anything living in it. That's kind of the point.
That is.
Well, I'm a not a human, B17. So,
So it actually feels like we've gathered the group back together. We've got some information. I actually think this is probably a good place for us to stop and start from next time. We've got I think 8 keys on the table out of the difficulty 8, so we just need a few more. And next time we'll definitely be looking at confronting some forces. There were no missed moves where I could throw some foes at you today. I had some stuff on the table, but that's fine as well. I do want to make sure next time we start out giving Egther the opportunity to grasp for keys, like trying to set up that context, to bring his particular knowledge of the goblins and the old ways and things together to there, because there's some interesting dimensions that we can add via that. So let's do our end of session XP. Lissa, did you hit your trigger?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity? I think definitely your humanity.
Yeah, bringing the kids along.
Yeah. Mark XP. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I'm not sure that I did.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
You know, I think the conversation with Aisling in the tube, it at least let me know that there's a lot there, like that kind of confusion on waking, and then I think somebody stole something from me. That was, I didn't really know that Aisling had any, or that Ailing had anything to steal. So
Interesting. Yeah, I like that. You don't mark ruin
for once.
for once. Aisling, did you hit your trigger?
No.
Okay. Did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
Good question. Did I?
I think we
Well,
saw
I
some
guess.
aspects of your humanity a little bit
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I expect my humanity with, like, my obsessive trying to be a good agent, and then with my confusion. And I guess, like, the last part could be expression of my monstrous
Mhm.
nature, but very subdued, with something was stolen from me.
And I think your approach to Black Anus was appropriate there. So mark an XP.
Yeah.
Do you think you learned something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
It's a good question.
You learned a lot about Black Anus.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, she counts. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So mark an XP for that. And you don't mark ruin.
Okay.
Egther, did we hit your XP trigger? Did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
I think my humanity came through a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mark an XP for that. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
No.
Okay. But you did learn something significant about a fellow monster.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
mark XP for that. And mark a ruin.
Yep.
Suriel, did you hit your XP trigger?
Yes, I think I revealed my glory and majesty to our driver, so he
Yes.
would tell me all he knew.
Absolutely. Did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
I think it was my humanity today,
Yeah.
for the most part. I'm really trying to be nice to people, and they just don't get it.
They don't appreciate you. You're just unappreciated. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I think I learned, well, I learned something from Egther, didn't I, about myself? I learned that, if you're not careful, that's where you end up.
I like that. And did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Oh, the Egther is a real party kill.
Fair enough.
Let's go down the pub and have a drink. Yeah, all right then.
Uh,
Do you want a drink? Yeah, all right then. I mean, gee whiz.
So market XP for that. Let's do quick stars and wishes as we go into this final session. Lissa.
A lot of stars. Alan, you have done such an amazing job throughout this series of playing Suriel as somebody who occasionally seems to genuinely want to connect with people, but usually just seems to be like working an angle. But in this session, like just allowing yourself to be the shade, to be the shade magnet of pretty much everybody, that was awesome. And I also like that bit that you were trying to go through with Egther, where it's like, so what's the deal with you and Lissa? That was a lot of fun to see. Tad, I liked how you played Ailing with confusion on waking, the whole dream, and just it's that kind of unsettled feeling that you woke up with, that somebody had taken something from you. I really like the way that you played that out. And Anders, it's, as always, Egther is kind of the sweet marshmallow of us. Like, what more can I say than that? And Lowell, thanks for letting me make those two kids, potential queens of fairy.
Well, I think we've established that the queens are out there. I think, yeah, that we don't know exactly who it's going to be, but I think you've put that whole thing out into the world, and we certainly got some connection there with Suriel and Gazmak. So yeah, I like those details. Tad.
Yeah, the surreal whole thing of like, I mean, starting from him just being skinhead so no one recognizes him, while traveling to the magic prison, and yeah, to uh, and where the actor, yeah, just this morose ways of being himself. I thought he's gonna do like something big before retirement, but no, he's just himself. I like it. And yeah, to you, the amazing world and NPCs, and yeah, it's really fun. This version of Britain, just Brexit. Brexit. Well, I guess the thing is, out of everything that like people said that will happen after Brexit, I guess like the fairies just robbing the magical essence of Britain. Like not even like the most hardcore Remainers said that. So well, I mean, can't really blame people for not knowing that this is going to come.
Perfect. Anything wishes for this last session? Anything moves or things you definitely want to hit?
I mean, I don't really have that many moves. Well, I guess I have to use. I want to use my dream walking thing at least once.
Okay.
That I picked. Yeah, and my other move is dream summoning, which I think I will use that
Okay.
at some point. That's easy to invoke. I'll get to dream walking at some point. Yeah.
And to come back to your list of the standard wishes, heading towards disaster.
Yep.
Okay. Egther.
Yeah, I think most of my stars have been mentioned. I really liked the bit with Gazamak. That was super fun. Yeah, I want. Yeah, the other things have been mentioned already.
Okay.
For wishes, I'd like to hit this humanity was a dream thing. I realized now that I had an opportunity for it here with Surreal, but we'll find. I'd like to get that in.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe we can reflect back on that flashback, but we'll definitely hit that early on next time.
Cool.
Alan?
No, I had fun today. I mean, I have fun every time, but it was particular fun today. I enjoyed the Changeling. I enjoyed Gazamak, your creation of Gazamak. I enjoyed the scene with Egtha. I enjoyed interrogating the Changeling with Lissa. So thank you for that packet. And thank you, Tad, for going to sleep. Because I just wanted to call back to the nightmare, and it was just I couldn't resist it. Just lifting just essence of nightmare from Nightmare the Endless. So no, that was good fun, really good fun. In terms of wishes, I am going to summon Gazamak back, because I am damned if I'm not going to shake that creature's hand before the end of this series.
Makes sense.
And beyond that, I don't know, see where the dice fall.
Okay. I think that's absolutely fair. We'll be back next time with the finale of this mystery and the finale of the series. I'm going to stop the recording.